I'll respond as best I can. So right there, just get the slugs to follow you right after that, and don't electrocute yourself, because I'm an idiot. Yeah, this game is definitely graphic. But get them to follow you over here. I died so that I could show you guys, so I could talk you guys through this. Let's just go with that. So, rewind in the back and turn on the electricity before they go back to their regular spots, because then they'll dumbly electrocute themselves. You know, a lot of the characters are dumb in this universe. Oh, hi Jerry, 121212. How you doing? I don't like your profanity.
Hello. Okay. Hello. Follow me.
So you're just gonna set these Mudokons free through this bird portal, like we've been doing the whole game. And now our save count is up to 111. There's still 188 more to save. So just go through this portal you created for yourself. And we are almost at the end of the stockyards. And this will lead us into the wilderness, which is where you discover what the Mudokons truly are. Right now you've just seen them as slaves and basically beaten down, not non-equals to any other creature. But you'll really see what they were before it was intervened by the industrialists. And really this game, some would call it preachy, I guess, about the environment and stuff, but really I think it does it in such a creative way that I don't really care. So right here, once again, don't wake them up. I'm actually going to quick save. And you just throw a rock and blow them all up. And that is the end of the stockyard, so I'll be quiet for this next cutscene, and see you after the cutscene.
I had just got past those slugs when the strangest thing I saw. A big moon was before me, and its face was my paw. Then I fell down a cliff. And smashed my head. When some big face appeared and said I was dead. Said our land was changing, was imbalanced at best. He told me my fate was to rescue the rest. For termites and scraps had been sacred once. That was before rupture farms turned them into lunch. And they live in the temples, and that's where they still nest. And facing these creatures, that was my test.
Okay, so interesting cutscene right there. And of course I know who you are, Jeremiah. Thank you for joining. Right now we are in the Mosaic Lines. And we lucked out because we don't have any Mudokons to save for, I think, 3 areas, which is really good. So, as you can see, this is definitely a really big difference from what we've been seeing before. It's definitely a lot more natural. There's vines growing on stuff. So, if we access this will tell us a bit more. Grave dangers await those who dare, for Mudokon trials offer despair. Enduring the nests of creatures' unrest is a task for those seeking the test. Brave beware, for the old have told that only one shall be so bold. So I guess you could call Abe the chosen one, but I don't think it's that corny, I guess, I don't know. So this is a similar area that we saw in Rupture Farms, except instead of meat following those rocks falling from the sky. They really need to find out what physics are around here, I guess. And don't jump headfirst into the rocks. That's the idiotic thing to do. So, right here, there are Mudokons, and they're natural Mudokons, and they don't trust people from the factory like I am. So if you go too close without giving them a password, they will shoot you, and I'll show you that right now. I have little slingshots. That's the password system I was talking about. It's 2 whistles and farts for some reason, because apparently gas is how the Mudokons say hello. There's 2 slugs down here, but they're not really a problem. This area just basically teaches you stuff that you really already know, so I don't get it, but it's basically a tutorial level, not midway through the game, but on the 3rd level, so I don't get it. Just telling you how to roll, how to go into wells. These aren't the wells you gather water from. So, Jerry, what do you think of the game so far? I think it looks gorgeous. The most impressive thing is that it was entirely made on the Unity engine, which basically means this could all run in a web browser.
Okay, you can go.
Levers work well. That they do. I find the most impressive thing is not how it looks, which is definitely impressive, but like I said, how it's running on the Unity engine. It's really... I didn't really get how impressive that was until my brother told me later on what the Unity engine was. I just thought that it was another game engine. But yeah, it's really impressive. Right here, another story stone. Single blue hands shall bear the brands and unleash the power to destroy false lands. Gluckin ministers will fume in alarm as the Shrikle awakened halts the flesh farm. And as you can see in the background, there's a bunch of chanting Mudokons. So the Mudokons, before the industrialists got a hold of them, are really spiritual people. Linnea's worry of a factory-born face, but Abe was in awe of this spiritual place. This will tell you how to chant, which, if you didn't already know. Now here is a new feature that we'll be seeing a lot of in a second, called the Bell Song. And first we're going to have to go down here and get the Bell Song. Now down here are some native Mudokons chanting, meditating. We're going to be a jerk and lead the bees right to him. And get the Bell Song. And this will tell us what to play on the bell to open up a door. So I can see why they don't like us. But who cares? And now that we have the Bell Song, we're going to go back up here and chant on these bells. So, have you heard of the Oddworld series before? I'm pretty sure you're the one who saw me playing Munch's Odyssey that one time, and you told me that you'd heard of it before, but I can't be sure. If so, what do you think of the series?
Stay right there.
They are wearing some really cool masks, I think.
Okay.
So, this won't be told to you in the game, but this whole world is pretty full of lore. And there's this whole story about how the Gluckins were spiritual like the Mudokons originally, and they lived in coexistence. And then one time, the Gluckins just that Mudokon moon, that moon with Abe's handprint on it that we saw earlier. At one point, that moon showed up, and the Mudokons assumed that they were the ultimate race, and the Gluckins got super upset and turned towards technology, and then they enslaved all the Mudokons to show who was the better race. Born to those of lost history and laborers of flesh, those within the conjured beast of monstrous appetite, of hardened shell and horrid burned breath. Its heart of steel and blade, the first shall bear witness and come forth. He frees his own before finding the others. So you're just like prophecies. Right here, we have a choice. We can either go to Paramonia or Scrabania. The Scrabania deals with the scrabs that we already saw in the stockyard, and it's more of a desert setting. Paramonia is a more forest setting, and it deals with these paramites which we haven't seen before. So I'm gonna leave it up to you to decide which one I should go in. Yeah, it's pretty scary. So I know there's a little bit of lag. I'm waiting for that. But Scrabania or Paramonia? desert or forest. I think the name Flesh Farm is one of the scariest names I've heard for Rupture Farms and those prophecy things, so yeah, they're definitely scary. So yeah, this is definitely a spiritual place. Yeah, you decide. Should I go to the desert and fight scrabs? Well, not fight scrabs, but avoid scrabs, or should I go to the forest and avoid paramites? Scrabania? Alright, here we go. I'm gonna be quiet for this cutscene here.
I witnessed Scrabania. Desolate and bare. Boneyards of scrabs, they used to roam there. Now they're cut, ground, and mashed into little cakes. Go get 'em! Critters destroyed for profit's sake.
Alright, so we've established that sligs are dicks. So, here we are in Scrabania, like I said, it's a desert. And of course you made me pick what's considered the harder of the two, but whatever. Basically, these two areas, Paramonia and Scrabania, are going to be like 3 different areas. First, we're going to be in these opening areas, where we're gonna... First, we're gonna activate that mine stuff. Just be quick. But we're going to be in this opening area where we make our way to the temple, which is that big cylinder thing in the background. So we have a long way to go. Then... we will go to the actual trials of the different species, which is where we'll encounter them the most. Then finally, we will go to the nests of the creatures, which is our final trial involving the creatures, and that will be the main area where we have to deal with them. It's basically like a run. We run away from big hordes of them. So to get rid of this slig, use him to blow up these mines, because in a second you're going to call Cade's Mount, basically, if, like, the Yoshi does Mario, called Elam, and if you call him and those mines are in the way, then you really don't have any way to get over those mines, so it's good to get rid of them. And there's Elam right there. So he can't talk, of course, he's a mule. Mule spelled backwards, get it? And he can go very fast, so we're gonna see that in just a second. He can make long jumps. He's used for these really fast sections like one that's coming up, and he's only in the opening, like getting to the temples parts in both areas. So you just need to ride him, and then hope that you can time your jumps right, because this can get pretty difficult. Especially later on, because later on you have sligs and mines and timers to avoid. But we got over that pretty safe. So yeah, this game is definitely odd, like its name. And I really think that it's one of the more imaginative series out there. And you really, even if you don't like the games, you can't argue that the series isn't imaginative. So, we're gonna go down here.
Hello. Hi. Okay.
So, we're going down here. And that's a new system for the password. You just give him a password and he'll give you specific abilities. This one sends out a red ring that blows up stuff around you, which is these mines. And we'll get another one, just for the road ahead, just in case. Now, we go down with Elam. And we're gonna blow up these mines, but make sure that they're not right next to you when you blow them up, or else you might die along with Elam. So then we're gonna get this. So that's the password that they won't give to you. You have to have that in order to move on.
Hello. Howdy.